My recording's going. Looks good. All right.
You all right?
What did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my breathing's just a little weird, kind of sick or something. So, is this gonna be a problem?
Is that your
Is your Gotham?
Yeah. Is that your?
You guys haven't seen Us?
No.
No.
Oh. Cool story.
And with that, everybody, welcome to Brainstorm Brewery. So is that you cracking a beer, Jason?
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Just not here.
The title of this
There's
episode
daylight
is
streaming through my window. I always forget to write my MTG price article when we podcast in the afternoon because I just drink a beer during the cast. I was like, man, I like drinking a beer during the day. I think I'll drink another beer. And then I don't write my article. So I've already started, so I'm going to remember to do it. And I'm going to talk about some of the stuff we're talking about on the podcast today. That article is free on Thursdays on mtgprice.com.
The title of this episode is either Daddy's Going Infinite or
Well, how long have we been doing the podcast now? 7 years? 7 years of evolution? 7 years of evolution.
As a podcast, it's been good.
An eldritch evolution, if you will.
All right, but before we go any further, I've been teasing this one for a few weeks. I have here, and I've not looked inside this before. This is a package. I will make sure to actually hide the address this time. I've received a package.
Did you just hold up a package and say this is a package?
This is a package. Well, it's addressed in a funny way, so people got to see it. This is from a listener, humongous. So, all right. Oh my god.
What is it?
Well, there's a smaller package inside the big package.
Share with the rest of the class, Corbin.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that.
I'm showing the camera. Don't worry. And okay.
Tell us what it is.
Dude, I'm trying to explain to you what the hell I'm looking at. There's a lot of really random names and drawings on here. Also a thumbprint. It says the Illuminati.
Did you get the Oklahoma Bombers Manifesto? What the fuck is this?
No, this isn't from me, dude. This was sent to me by a listener because we told him.
No, I know. Is that
shit.
what he sent you? Did he send you some like Ted Cruz Zodiac killer shit?
Yeah, I think he did because this is disgusting. What
do you mean
I
disgusting?
can't even explain. Like, there's so many like words and like somebody took a pencil and like just went up and down like 20 times to make the line super thick, right? And then they drew a bunch of weird little ass pictures with it.
Remember when Brian Braun got like a severed doll head mailed to his house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Okay, so other words that are on here: the medical apocalypse.
Okay.
USAF robot psyop. No Bama, no Sama. LOL. Bible King James Version, Job 38:31. Don't know what that means.
I'll look up Job 38:31.
There's also a literal anchor drawn on here from the address, which
that's you. You are the anchor of this podcast.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Listen, here's Job 38:31.
All right, let's hear it.
Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion?
That seems all right. I'm going to keep going. Oh my god. All right, so to clarify here, Q got sent this at his work, and they were like, this is so weird. And then the meme of people sending me stuff because I accidentally put my address in I intentionally put my
accidentally
put my address in Discord and said, come at me.
And then they came at him.
Oh my god. Oh, I found the first swastika. Underneath something that says Galactic Federation.
You can't say that word on YouTube, Corbin.
This is...
Wait, does saying the word swastika get you more views or less? Because PewDiePie's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, I accidentally put on this full KKK uniform during... I didn't mean to do that. He's got a weird... I don't know what accent he is. He's got a weird accent.
This is literally a manifesto.
Cool, you got a manifesto? No one sends me manifestos.
Medical apocalypse, true biology science, psychiatrist equals psychillatrix. Slow execution, there's brains, it says Trinity brains, neurotransmitters.
Corbin, I have a four-year degree in psychology that I paid a lot of money for and run.
Dude, Q, you were right, man. You warned me about this. I thought it would be funny to open on the podcast. I just don't even understand what I'm looking at now. There's a letter.
Corbin,
oh no, it literally says Zodiac.
Corbin, I had
this
clients.
Is actual confession from the Zodiac Killer. I
had clients in Calgary who were like, "Oh, you do a podcast? What is it?" And then I gave them the name, and this is the first episode.
Well.
It's like this every week. We open a new manifesto every week. Sometimes there's a white powder.
I understand why he was a little weird about me opening it on the cast, because he's right. This is like an actual manifesto. It's got like court filings. This is some weird stuff, man. I'm weirded out right now. JJ, kill this. Actually, JJ, just make sure, because I dropped it a couple times or fumbled it. Make sure all the addresses are covered up so nobody kills me. That's all I ask. Wow.
Only our $1 patrons can kill Corbin. None.
All right, so I have to say, this does take the cake for, I don't know, most unique thing that's been mailed to me.
But hey, if you want to get in on it and mail stuff to Corbin...
Yeah, getting the blow-up doll was good, but this
go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery. For as little as $1 a month, you can have access to the Discord server, where Corbin carelessly posts his address for all to read. You can send him anything you want, and it only costs $1 for that kind of access, because Corbin's a complete lunatic. You have to be a $20 patron to get one of these handsome drinking glasses. Actually, you get 2 of them sent to your house, and it'll have my address on there. So if you really wanted to send me something... become a $20 patron at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery. Get 2 of these glasses, get our tokens, get our playmat, get the ability to send us in an audio clip, and have my address if you really want to send me something non-explodey. I have my wife open all my mail. Like, if you're trying to kill me with a bomb, haha, good luck. My pregnant wife actually opens the mail. So, good luck. So, $20 a month gets you access to...
I just want to clarify. I want to clarify one
stuff.
thing you said there, Jason.
What's
you
that?
said that I carelessly post my address in the Discord, and that's just not true. I very purposefully post my address, and I carelessly post our listeners' addresses.
We've doxed so few people. We've cut way down on the number of our listeners we accidentally dox. It happens very infrequently these days. DJ almost hasn't read someone's email address and mailing address.
Yeah, I was posting, when people were sending me stuff, I was putting it in the Discord, and then I realized that it had all their return addresses on it.
Yeah, I gave out one person's email address. Corbin has a manifesto of your where your family lives.
Dude, I can't.
Next person that sends something to Corbin is getting that manifesto.
All right, legitimately, Q, I have to tell you, man, you shouldn't have sent this to me. And when your work received it a year ago, they shouldn't have sent it to you to send to me. This should be with the FBI. Come on, man.
Dude, the FBI will tell you there is a dude like that in every town, just peeing on sidewalks and, begging for spare change.
You've never peed on a sidewalk?
I mean, not the way these guys.
Corbin, I thought you already met the guy. He only had like one eye. He came into your store one time.
Yeah, right. All right, let's move on. Let's talk a little Magic, because believe it or not, there was some Magic news this week. There was a Mythic Invitational. Andrea Mengucci won. It was very exciting. It's a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But, hey, that was last week. And now this week, all anyone cares about is War of the Spark. So how about that trailer?
We should send Mengucci scarves to everybody who's a $20 patron.
No, seriously. I mean, what did you guys think of the War of the Spark trailer? It was top 5 trending.
It was really well done until I was like, is that fucking Linkin Park?
Yep.
And it was, and I was like, oh, Jesus.
Oh, really? That's what killed it? I knew it was Linkin Park from the very beginning. I was like, man.
Oh, cool. I'm glad that you recognize Linkin Park before me. I guess that makes you better than me.
Nah, just younger.
I thought the CGI was pretty... I like the angle they were going for. I'm really happy it got made. But just as somebody who normally watches Riot Game cinematics, the CGI could definitely be improved.
Well,
so Corbin, you're saying you're better than me at one thing, and I don't know why? Because it's like it doesn't matter how hard I try, you're always going to pretend you're better than me.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
What would you say? All I know, how does it sort of
actually,
turn
I think all I know is one of the lyrics, too. Yeah, I'm just trying to say I only know that much of the
Are you saying that in the end it wouldn't really matter?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, just checking. No, it was really cool, though. It was a top 5 trending on YouTube. It had 4 million views on the first day. Honestly, between the Invitational...
they paid for some views.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. in the sense, I know the Invitational hit over 100,000 concurrent viewers on Sunday, which is by far the highest mark. I think something like double that we've ever seen before. Now, some people are saying that Wizards embedded their stream in ad networks. I think specifically the Curse ad network, which then pushes the stream to a lot of ads on different websites that can boost your numbers in a way. But so while yes, I guess that's a reasonable thing to say.
And that also exposes the tournament and the game to a new audience.
Yeah. Well, like my thing is even more simple than that. It's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe of the 110,000 people watching, it was
70,000.
Right. Maybe it was whatever. But the thing is, it's a stupid pedantic Magic player argument in the first place because all the other games do it too, right? So like we're trying to compare numbers on Twitch, but you're going to shit on Magic for using the same for
yeah, it's like Lance Armstrong using
like,
performance enhancing drugs. Everybody used performance enhancing drugs, and Lance Armstrong won every Tour de France. Right. Therefore, he's still the best bicyclist.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have been the best without the drugs. I don't know, but everyone cheated. So in this case, I don't know.
Lance Armstrong's heart is like 25% larger than everybody else.
Oh, is that
so, like he's actually a mutant, and that's why he's a cycling machine.
There you go. But either way, it just seemed like a really odd argument. Basically, it felt like naysayers trying to bring down the whole weekend. I was doing text coverage from home. I didn't travel to the event, so I watched the entire stream all weekend, and it was, it was cool. The commentary, it was really nice seeing Day 9 and Kibler.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, look, regardless of what you think of either of them in particular, I mean,
I just envy Day 9 that he gets to be Danny Trejo's roommate. Like, I don't know how those two met.
Well, look, the thing is, though, it speaks to legitimacy, and as silly or dumb or whatever you want to call it is going out and getting names from other games or whatever. Having Day 9 is not, he came, for people who don't know, he got big a decade plus ago or something. He was playing StarCraft Brood War, and he was the first person to like do streaming essentially for that, where he was making videos for it and talking about more than just StarCraft. He's talking about being a better gamer and a better person in his videos. And it really, especially if they consider 10 plus years ago or whatever, when he was getting going with this, like the internet was a very different place, and it was a really cool thing. It was a big deal. And so he obviously has gone on to be very, very big in the entire video game world. I don't know if esports is necessarily the correct term there, but in short, he is a big deal, and it's not inauthentic. That's what I liked most about this, is that, Kibler's obviously a Hall of Famer, but like Day 9 has been involved with Magic for a very long time. Even when they were doing stage interviews.
Yeah, Day 9's not Will Wheaton, like,
right, exactly.
Lamely exposing cards from a set he cares nothing about.
Exactly. Like everyone involved in the production and on the team knew Magic. They knew what they were talking about in those questions and everything. And I thought it was nice. So, that said, obviously we have lots of very talented people who've always been doing commentary for Magic. So it remains to be seen what it looks like going forward. And I obviously have no idea myself. So, but I do think that last weekend was a big deal and pretty cool. So, but
I thought it was cool that they invited our old friend Brian David Marshall to keep him a little bit connected to the community.
That was honestly my favorite things. They removed Owen Turnwald. Kotaku published an article with allegations against him. If anybody wants to read that,
I wasn't going to delve into that because we don't know anything. But
that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not going to name.
We think stuff. I don't know.
Right. I'm not going to name anything. I'm just saying, as a factual matter of telling you what happened and how Brian David Marshall got a spot. Wizards of the Coast removed Owen. Kotaku published an article. You can research and draw your own conclusions. But that opened up a spot at the last minute. They gave it to BDM, who honestly, there's basically no one else in the world more deserving of an invitational slot with a chance at big money than someone who's literally devoted their life to the game. So,
because he made a decision very early. He made a decision like 93, 94. He's like, I could play this game, but I'm gonna promote the game and put on events and stuff like that. He made a choice not to play in a pro tour to
judge
stuff.
Right. He said that he made a choice to judge a pro tour rather than back 20 plus years ago or whatever, rather than play. And that he owned the biggest store in New York. He sold that. He did coverage forever. Like the man is a living legend, and I hope the Hall of Fame changes such that I can vote for him. That's what I hope. But it was really nice to see him. He didn't do well at the tournament, unfortunately, but it was a crazy tournament. 64 people, double elimination all the way through, group play. So basically, you know, March Madness style, more or less, right? 64 people, 4 teams, 4 groups of 16, double elimination to come out of them. Cut to a top 16 for Saturday, cut to a top 4 for Sunday, and it was really neat. So, but that's in the past now. Now War of the Spark is here, and the Planeswalkers are coming with it.
What is March Madness style about a double elimination tournament?
Well, I just meant the 64-team bracket. I wondered if anybody... I realized as I was explaining, it's not the same. It's obviously a different tournament structure, but I do think it was not an accident that they scheduled an end of March tournament to have 64 people in a bracket, right? So
yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't care about college basketball, but I just feel compelled to shit on the University of Michigan because all their fans like made fun of me when MSU lost to them this year. Like I cared about football. So
and then
if I don't care about football, am I allowed to get shitty about basketball?
I mean,
is that cool?
I don't know, Jason. How petty do you want to be?
You know, I'm gonna take the high road, and I'm gonna congratulate the University of Michigan on getting the silver medal at the Big Ten championship. You did it.
The Jason sports trash talk leaves something to be desired. Hey. Jason, normally it's like R-rated, going crazy. You ask Jason to talk trash about college sports, and he's like, "I want to congratulate."
But I can't. I went to Michigan State, and like
just short.
We had Larry Nassar, that whole thing, and then plus a dude who was having sex with dogs, and it was sort of like, oh, okay, so I can't say anything to U of M every time they're like, hey, they paid Chris Webber $100,000 or something like that. I can't even like say anything. It's like, yeah, but Chris Webber wasn't molesting anybody. So my sports trash talk for college sports, unfortunately.
Stick to NHL, man. Stick to the NHL.
I have to. Yeah, so
yeah.
We got a racist mascot, but that's it. Other than that, it's super cool.
Well, let's before we go any further, then let's do Breaking Bulk, and then let's start talking War of the Spark. I mean, obviously we have the set review coming up in a few weeks or a week. I don't even know when the set comes out, to be honest. I guess at the Pro Tour, at the Mythic Championship, rather.
Wizards of the Coast contractor Corbin Hostler, everybody doesn't know when the set's coming out.
Swear jar. $1 in the swear jar.
We have a lot of faith in us as financiers. Like, yeah, whenever the set comes out, some stuff will happen. Yeah, give us some money in our Patreon, idiot. I know when the set's coming out because I know that the store is going to call me a week before the set comes out and be like, I'm going to get your boxes in. So that gives me enough time to plan ahead. So I'm just waiting for that phone call.
Hey, Jason, should people sell Mycosynth Lattice right now?
If they have them. Agreed. I don't think sell calls are all the... Yeah, sell all your Mycosynth Lattice. Oh, we never told you to buy them? Oh, right. Well, I guess this is...
Well, there was no chance. There was no opportunity to.
I mean, they never even really got that cheap as a result of Battle Bond.
Yeah, I actually had forgotten it was in Battle Bond. For people who don't know, it's spiking because of...
It's a 2-card lock with Karn.
Karn, yeah.
It's
Karn. Actually pretty ridiculous. That new Karn is actually pretty ridiculous, but we'll get to that later. Let's do Breaking Bulk now while we can.
Okay.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking Bulk. The end.
I have a Cold Snap uncommon and it's green.
Oh, Into the North?
No, that's a common, I think.
Oh, well, shit.
Cold Snap green uncommon?
Yep.
Is it a creature?
Yes.
Then I don't know. Is it the Martyr?
No. The Martyr cycle is common because Martyr of Sands is common.
Hey.
Trying to remember this stupid set.
I didn't play this. I played one draft.
I didn't play Magic.
Set.
Yeah, I mean, this is a card that you will rarely find in bulk just because you rarely find Cold Snap bulk. But
right,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, I actually just had some
because that set just didn't sell well.
But it's probably called like Tormacrist or something stupid.
No, it's two normal words.
Okay,
Tamanoa is the card you're thinking of.
It is. I buy listed one of those.
You mean
last
Thermokarst? That's Ice Age.
Sure, man. They're on the same plane.
I don't know, man.
It is Sheltering Ancient. It's a 2-mana 5/5 trample.
Yeah. The guy with cumulative upkeep.
Yeah, it spiked after Hour of Devastation because of a combo that doesn't even really do anything. Like, I mean, you can technically Solemnity to get a 2-mana 5/5, or you could just play Tarmogoyf or Gurmag Angler. But, like, it spiked because of that, and then it just sort of leveled off at above $1, and it buy lists for anywhere between 15 cents and a quarter. It's just this weird, obscure, old card that you will find in bulk that some casual players will love. It's actually good in a couple specific EDH decks. Like, you play it in Selvala to make mana.
Right, you could also play it, like, there's also just a lot of decks or players who will just use it as a bargaining chip. You kill one player with your 5/5, and then you make another player your teammate, and then you just kill their creature later.
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority... I don't think it normally ramps up and it stays on the turn for that many turns to matter. I think the biggest thing is, like, the fact that it has 5 power being relevant for, like, some Naya stuff, where it's like, if you have 5 power, do the thing, or certain Tarkir 4 greater power cards. Like, it's just a 2-mana way to get lots of power on the board.
Well, hey, the new Kiora Behemoth Beckoner says whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
Yeah, so stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Jason, what do you got?
I have a card from Judgment. It is a red card.
Flaring Pain?
Nope. It is a red uncommon.
Fire Caplets? Oh, enchantment.
Yeah, you may or may not get this.
Is it the coin flippy one?
What's that called?
Planar something?
Chaos!
Yeah.
Planar Chaos. It's the name of a set. It's the name of a card. It's the name of a $1.50 retail card. Planar Chaos. Beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sack Planar Chaos. If you have a Krark's Thumb, flip another coin. If you lose it, swear and sacrifice Planar Chaos. Whenever a player plays a spell, that player flips a coin. If he or she loses the flip, counter that spell. It's very chaotic.
Yeah.
You with your Krark's Thumb, them with their not Krark's Thumb, you're going to resolve more of your spells than they are. They're going to hate you.
Statistically, you might just not. Don't guarantee them that.
Statistically. There's no guarantees when you're flipping a coin. I get it. I've played enough dice in casinos to know that, but I'm just saying that, like, out of all the stuff that spiked as a result of Okon and Zyndasplit decks, like, for whatever reason, this one's still hanging on in there, even though, like, cards are about the same age and about the same rarity, like Garbin Archaeologist and, Mog Assassin and Squeeze Revenge never really maintained that dollar retail that Planar Chaos has managed to maintain.
I will
and
say
it's
that
in approximately the same number of decks.
You did pick this around 8 months ago, but I'll let it go because it's been a while.
Did I really?
Yes.
Nice.
Well,
and on August 6th, as of this 2017-2018 spreadsheet. August 6th, 2018.
Okay, well, here's one. Here's one from Exodus that is a red creature. Same deal. Mog Assassin. Maybe put that one down. That's still $1, above $1, and everything else from Exodus is basically trash. Exodus was a real weird set. Like, name a card from Exodus. Can you? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Mana Bond. 4 Strongholds.
Oh, yeah, the green one. And Mind Over Matter, stuff like that. Like, as far as the commons and uncommons go, that set was real weird.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, okay. Reconnaissance is real good on decks where your commander has to attack and then you want it to not die. So Mog Assassin's like one of those, it's one of the most valuable uncommons from that whole set, which is crazy. And it maintained its value despite stuff like Squeeze Revenge going right back down to like 20 cents. So the coin flip stuff is still very much in play. We got Mirror March from the latest set, which sort of said, hey, stuff goes in that deck. So people are still building that stupid deck. And if I put a $50 Zyndasplit Okon deck together and put it in the case of my LGS and slap a $50 sticker on it, it sells. So people still love to do that kind of dumb stuff. It's a real budgety deck, and some of the cards are $1.
Did you know that City of Traders is in that set and Survival the Fittest?
Yeah, but those are like
uncommons.
Those are the freebies.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a real weird set. You also had stuff
agreed.
like Great Whale and...
Yeah, it's like a mix of broken things and terrible things.
That's every
and
set
that was
from
like
the pre-2001.
Yeah, that's true.
But that was
That's true.
the entire Tempest block, though, wasn't it? So...
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Exodus has rarity symbols and Tempest doesn't, so...
neither does Stronghold. Exodus was actually the first set to do it.
Yep.
And by rarity symbols, he means the
colors,
colors
colors
of the expansion symbol. Yep.
All right, I've got one for you guys here. It's a Darksteel common. It's actually been moving a tiny bit just over the past couple weeks.
Arcbound Worker?
No, so it's a Darksteel common, but it's also been in a billion commander sets and Magic 2014, and yet it's still
Darksteel
almost
Ingot.
$1. It is Darksteel Ingot, and it's almost $1 right now.
And that's not even a good mana rock.
It's,
I get
yeah,
that's
it's
indestructible.
like,
It's a freaking manolith.
What I'm more interested in is why the price has doubled since October of last year.
I mean, it's been forever since it actually got a reprint.
It's been a while since I got a reprint, and
yeah, Commander Anthology 2, Commander 2017. I understand, but Commander 2017, Commander 2016, Commander 2015, like no,
yes,
there are
Commander
copies
2017 meaning it's been a year and a half since it was reprinted.
I get it.
Like it still has really strong EDH rec metrics, and people that like brew on like Star City and TCG Player and their EDH articles say to include Darksteel Ingot, which I think is nuts. That card sucks.
Yeah, that's why you're saying it's not very good or whatever, but like
it is a card that gets a lot of views, and it's very
there's
easy
a lot
to
of
add
printings
to
out there, and it's still worth $1.
It's
so there
very
you go.
easy to add to a cart on a deck list that says "Buy me now."
Yeah.
When you're like $100 budget EDH deck article, buy it all, and then you just like click buy, and there's a Darksteel Ingot in it.
Yeah, and then you paid $1 for a Darksteel Ingot when you like. Oh, you could be running Commander Sphere or Mind Stone or I don't know, man. I can't sanction running Darksteel Ingot.
I didn't know you felt this strongly about it.
It's
imagine how strongly Dana Roach felt on EDH Rec when he saw how many people were running Manolith, which was a non-indestructible Darksteel Ingot. And he wrote an article that was like, "Your mana rock sucks and you should feel bad, you idiot." And everyone was so mean. The new thrust of his series is like, hey, maybe play this card, not that card, as opposed to like, why are so many people playing Manolith?
Your card sucks is a much better
hey, well, you know what, as his boss, I did not tell him to soften his approach. It was the feedback from readers. So
yep.
I very much liked when he went hard on people playing shit cards, because hey, stop playing shit cards. You're fucking
Diabolic
up our
Tutor
EDH
is bad.
records.
You're awful. Mastermind's Acquisition is a bulk rare.
Stop screwing up our metrics by just like leaving stuff from the precon in your deck when you register it, you moron. No one's playing Trigon Predator in an Azuri list. Stop it.
What's wrong with Trigon?
Is that card actually bad though? That card doesn't seem bad.
It's fine, but
it's not good.
Okay, here's the deal. If you started with the Azuri precon, you would have a Trigon Predator because you're like, hey, I'm not taking that out. It's good.
Yeah,
but if you started from 0 and added cards that were in Simic to
here.
an Azuri deck, you would never in 100 years include Trigon in your top 300.
Well, that's because starting from 0, you always end up with the same Azuri deck because that deck is just built one way and it's Flying Men Tribal.
No, that's the other one. I'm talking. Azuri.
Edric, yeah.
Yeah, Edric's the Flying Man Tribal, and that's fine. Terramander in all formats, but so you would never include Trigon Predator probably in 100 years.
Sorry, all Civic commanders just look the same to me, Jason. They're all just.
Well, that's speciest.
Okay.
As a Simic person, what does specious mean? You're just not.
I don't think I'm a Simic person anymore because I think my favorite Simic deck is Teysa Karlov.
Wow, what a traitor.
Look at all the doubling I'm doing. I love doubling. Hey, man. Don't talk to me. Talk to me when I had a 5-minute Tatiova turn and I don't win at the end of it. And everyone's like, I hate you. It's like I played 29 extra basics and it didn't win. Go. And everyone's like, I just watched you do that. I hate you so much. And I'm like,
I mean, I
happens.
sympathize with it. I do hate playing against Tatiova. It's a broken commander.
It really, really is.
It's very strong.
Yeah. All right. So the thing with War of the Spark, let's move on. Let's talk about our favorite cards from here. At least for a little bit. We obviously are going to be talking a lot about this over the next month.
I think what we were going to do is talk about the cards that we think are going to move other cards in the way that Karn kind of moved your Mycosynth Lattice.
Right. Well, what's at the top of your list for that, Jason?
Well, if you look at Bolus's Citadel, which I called Bad Nauseum,
okay.
Some people are saying like, hey, what about all the cards that gain you 4 life for 2 mana and draw a card? So you could build a deck around that where you just like slam Bolus's Citadel and then you like revitalize or revive, whatever the draw card, gain 4 life, 2 mana. So you pay 2 life to play it.
You gain 3 and then draw a card, yeah.
Yeah, draw a card. Stuff like that. I don't know if you necessarily want to be doing that. I think it's better with like low CMC stuff rather than like the life gain stuff because the life gain stuff just sucks.
Yeah.
If you don't draw your Bolus's Citadel. So I can't like see this being played in Modern over something like Ad Nauseam, where you just draw your whole deck and Lightning Storm and just win the game. But like it's cute, and like I didn't like Lich's Mastery either, and apparently that's an FNM.
Yeah, I mean,
deck,
like
so.
the closest deck that I can think of for Commander that wants to play Bolas' Citadel is and they're both decks I've played myself, are either Grixis Marchesa, where you just want to like cut your own wrists and then like put stuff on the board really quickly and haste them out, or
I mean, isn't it an infinite combo with top?
It's not infinite. It's infinite if you go
pay
with
one
top.
life.
No, because you have to still pay a mana. Like,
Oh, it's one mana, not life, or it's life and mana, I guess.
No, you tap the top to draw a card and put the card on top and put top on top.
Yes.
So you just draw your whole deck because you need the thing that you gain a life when you play a spell.
Yeah,
the
correct.
Aetherflux Reservoir.
Aetherflux.
It's not infinite.
You need that. Yeah.
It's infinite with the three of those.
Yes.
But even if you don't have that right, it's still one life and one mana, or one life to play the top every turn. That's it, right? And you can just keep playing it off the top.
Yeah, you can top off the top and just draw a new card underneath it.
It's super powerful in a lot of different contexts.
Well, I was
if you have Sensei's Divining Top, it's a Necropotence.
I was thinking about playing it in Selenia, which is the black-white angel. My deck is basically like.
Oh, yeah, because you're trying to lose your life, and then you play Shifting Sands or something like that to give your opponent 2 life.
Yeah,
and
it's basically like near-death experience or like wacky combo shenanigans, Angel's Grace or Repay in Kind or Phyrexian Unlife the deck for Commander.
Yeah, I kind of like Selenia as a concept because it's.
What do you guys think about Aetherflux? It's almost $4 right now.
That card is going to be like 7 or 8 eventually.
I bought Aetherflux Reservoirs at my LGS for they were selling like
the card is one of my best selling cards on TCG Player by itself.
I don't want to sell it until it's like $5.
Yeah, I think you hold on to those.
Well, so right now I'm looking on TCG Player, and they're already $5. So people have definitely been moving on it. In fact,
that's
the cheapest
10 times what I paid for it. I feel good about that. And it was just one of those cards. Like everything in that whole block was like, oh, it's a dumb artifact that's going to be good forever. That's cool. Panharmonicon, Inspiring Statuary, Paradox Engine, like all that stuff. It's just the land. What's the land?
Spire of Industry.
Yeah, it's all kind of dumb stuff in that. That whole block was just. Anytime you get artifacts, they go in 5 times as many decks as a green card, so why not?
All right, so I'm going to read you guys something here. This is a pretty cool card. This is a tweet from Andrew Brown, who is a member of the play design team at Wizards of the Coast. He says, Twitter stories from the set. Do not adjust your TV screens. Ob Nixilis Cruelty is a common, starting with War of the Spark. We're making an effort to have more exciting cards at common. So the card in question, Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, is a 3-mana instant. Target creature's -5 till the turn. If it would die, exile it.
That card's very good.
It is very good. Also, the art is messed up, by the way. Ob Nixilis is like burning a bird.
Yeah, I love that there's like a war raging. It's like, oh, we're trying
just like, I'm gonna
defeat
destroy
Nico Boys. He's like, hey, don't mind me. I don't like being on this plane. I'm just
yeah. The flavor text is
randomly.
the flavor text is trapped on Ravnica with no affection for either side. Ob Nixilis sought gratification in random acts of torment, and the art is him burning a bird, a little dove. That's messed up.
Sought gratification is quite the euphemism.
I just want to
finish this podcast early, and I can seek gratification before my wife gets home.
I just wanted to throw this out there and ask, though. I mean, do you think that this is relevant in financial sense? It's hard to parse.
No.
Well, listen. It's hard to parse exactly what more exciting means, but it does probably mean more powerful.
Well, I mean, look at Kaya's ghost form. Look at Kaya's ghost form. Before 2014, a card had to be rare or higher to have the word Planeswalker on the rules text. Or some rough general date along those lines, but like Hero's Downfall, right? And like Dreadbore and like all these cards that interact specifically with Planeswalkers, like even Call the Gatewatch, like for a card to say Planeswalker, it had to be like rare. And now it's on a common, which makes sense because there's uncommon Planeswalkers.
Well, it's your
in the
Planeswalker. I still think to interact with their Planeswalkers, it might have to be at least uncommon And like Planeswalker Destruction is obviously going to be at a higher premium this set because it's 36 cards as opposed to 4.
Yeah, this set is going to be crazy. I mean,
it's going to be so good and limited. I really can't wait to draft
I think
this
it was
set.
Dan Musser who works at Wizards now and said I was brought on to work on this set. Right? So this is the set. They want to push Planeswalkers as a big deal and the face of the game and all of these things, and that's all fine and that's all good. So it means they better have gotten this set right, you know.
I think having good. I think not sitting there unable to deal with their Planeswalker is going to be goddamn miserable. So you better have some ways at common to deal with Planeswalkers, or at least they're good creatures.
Is the rare Planeswalkers. The uncommon ones with the only minus abilities, those seem very powerful and very good, obviously, but, those are probably reasonable. But some of the rare ones are just still going to run away with games, I think.
Can we take a second to talk about how inspired it is to have a static ability on a minus-only Planeswalker? Like, the static ability on Planeswalkers is something that, like, none of us really... that no one really predicted that I saw, but it's like...
I saw it predicted.
No, it's been called before. That's been a shot that's been called for a while, but
it's also been on... It was on Garrick Relentless, and it was when they first did it. I mean, they broke that ground a long time ago.
But I mean...
I understand your point, though.
Doing it on all of them.
Yeah. I mean, this set is clearly going for it, but basically the point... Like, what I was trying to get to why I brought that up is... look at something like Kaya's Ghost Form. It's a 1-black enchantment, common, enchant creature or planeswalker you control. Very possibly the first card that's ever said enchant planeswalker, I'm not sure, but when enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return it to the battlefield.
Corbin, imprisoned in the moon. Creature, artifact, or creature, artifact, or planeswalker.
Nice. Okay, there you go. It doesn't say non-land permanent. Interesting. But yeah, so there you go. The question is, will these be good breaking bulk? Like, does this add more value to bulk if you just are simply going to have more opportunities?
This seems like a limited only card.
I think it adds. I think this ends up being a set with a lot of nickels.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
But like, whether or not that is worth your time and effort is another question entirely. But if you have the infrastructure and ability and talent and like time to manage that,
pick nickels.
Yeah,
something like Dovin's Veto, for instance, right? Blue-white, uncommon.
I mean, that's gonna be an
uncounterable
card.
Negate. That's
an actual card.
Yeah,
Negate doesn't have the white mana requirement. This is uncounterable.
It's an uncounterable negate for white mana. Yeah, that's pretty similar. But also, just keeping in mind, all of these planeswalkers at uncommons are going to be picks. It doesn't matter how shitty they are, right?
Oh yeah, you pick every planeswalker. I pick every.
So that's what I'm saying. I
pick every card with the historic border from Dominaria.
Yeah, like this set, I think is just going to be. Now the counterpoint and the correct counterpoint is that it is a standard set and it is going to be full print run. But at the same time, we're seeing $2 commons from imprint standard sets. So I just think that this set is going to be good for picking.
Those are also $2 commons from really garbage sets.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
sure.
like the one good common from it. Yeah, but Lava Coil's not in a garbage set.
No, but that's an uncommon.
That's not an uncommon, but it's also worth real money.
That's an uncommon.
Yeah, exactly.
You said it's not.
Well, so's Wizard's Lightning and Wizard's Mastery and all that kind of stuff. Like, we're used to seeing $2-3 uncommons.
Yes.
A $2 uncommon in a bad set, but a $2 uncommon in a good set isn't uncommon either. It's not unusual. Sorry.
Right, but these need to like see standard play to be those $2 commons. You don't
I understand that. What I'm simply saying is that
Kaya's Ghost Form isn't going to be, but like
there's going to be a lot more nickels in the set. Is basically what I was getting at. Like the idea that we're printing more exciting cards at common probably means more powerful. It very certainly at least means more complex, which just means more opportunity to become picks. So as far as the bulk market goes, which is something that has been trending down for a very, very long time, this set's going to be really good for it, I think.
I also think people are going to buy so much of this set just because it doesn't have any gimmicks. It doesn't have masterpieces. It doesn't have any of the typical gimmicks like the fetch lands. It has nothing I've seen that like a single Legacy player even wants, but this set is just going to sell gangbusters.
Liliana's Triumph is a very Legacy playable card.
That's true. It's an edict. In fact, that's a really nice modern playable card.
It's
also a promo that they're giving away.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think that Edict could be good against Boggles or something. We'll see. It's obviously, I think something that might be worth considering here is 8-rack pieces between Liliana's Triumph, which seems like something you could easily play in an 8-rack deck against a creature deck or in the sideboard maybe, but also I guess it's Davriel, Rogue Shadow Mage. It's a 2-black Planeswalker that's easier to cast than Liliana the Veil even. Comes into play with 3 loyalty, has a static ability. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if they have 1 or fewer cards in hand, it deals 2 damage to them. -1, target player discards a card. It starts with 3. So you can... I'm thinking about this specifically in the context of an 8-rack deck. You can get multiple discard effects out of it, or it's a win condition. It's the first card in the deck has ever had access to that is both a win condition and a piece of its discard game plan. And yes, it's obviously more fragile as a win condition, and it's a worse effect for the cost, but it is both in one. So as far as talking about cards that could see things pop up, something like the Rack or whatever, you keep an eye on it, because if somebody, and we have seen the deck top 8 in the past. I think Tom Ross might have been the last one to do it at an SCG event or something, but it's one of those decks on the fringes of Modern that could easily have a good weekend with new cards and spike old cards as well.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean, like any deck on the fringes of Modern can do. Like Joey G just texted me and he said that somebody top 8'd with a Death Cloud list.
I love
Nice.
Death Cloud so much.
yeah, Death Cloud is sweet. But yeah, I mean, this is particularly has,
But like, what's
this
even
set has
in
new
the
things.
8-rack deck? Like stuff that's already expensive. Like what can move up? Like Collective Brutality's not moving up. Maybe Smallpox.
Smallpox definitely could. I mean, Smallpox is like $1, right?
Shrieking Affliction.
Oh,
could
so
move up.
this is a decent
That's a
set.
70
No,
Smallpox
this
is Smallpox is $0.25. Yeah.
This is a random little segue aside, but one card that I talked about this weekend with a couple friends of mine that I think is like a really, really big sell now is do not buy at Cabal Coffers before you see Modern Horizons lists.
Oh my god! Right, that's a
good
card
to
that
know.
they've been
That
like,
is
looking at
that
for
is
years.
very, very,
Yeah.
very, very easy to put into Modern without affecting the format entirely. 8-rack is what made me think of it, but it's probably still wouldn't even see play in that deck just because that's the only mono black deck really in
Now
Modern.
that's a card that jam in Modern Horizons because technically it's not Modern legal,
Right,
It's not
it
a
is-
Modern reprint,
yes.
but it's an EDH card that very much.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect reprint,
It's a
actually.
$40
and then that
They've
becomes
gone out of their way to say things like this is going to be a conspiracy-like set. It's in that vein, which puts the door wide open for something like Cabal Coffers.
Yeah.
I would
but going
hold
back,
off.
Yeah, going back to
Because I don't think Cabal Coffers is going to go to 60 if it's not reprinted either. I don't think there's going to be a huge price hike on it. I don't think anyone's sitting on it like, oh, if it's not in Modern Horizons, we just buy them all. I don't think that's going to happen. So I really think there's like no reason not to just wait.
Yeah. So going back to ARAC and the pieces in it, Smallpox is $0.25. It's been reprinted 3 times. It's okay. Shrieking Affliction has been printed exactly once. And it's
Exactly
50
one
cents.
time in a bad set.
Those returned a replica.
Oh, it was RTR, right? It
Yeah,
wasn't.
no, the set was fine, but it was one set. So, that's
Pack
just
rat, maybe?
It's just do what?
I don't know if that deck plays Pack Rat out of the board. Does that
It
deck
just-
play Pack Rat?
not the list I'm seeing. I'm looking at like the Tom Ross version and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like Raven's Crime could go, right?
I'm seeing
I don't-
Fatal Push, Inquisition of Kozilek, Raven's Crime, Thoughtseize, Collective Brutality, Smallpox, The Rack, Shrieking Affliction, and Liliana the Veil. That's
Right.
what I'm seeing is like the core 8-rack deck.
Right. So, you've got a lot of
Bridge.
you've got a lot of very cheap cards that can become $1 or $2 cards, or you've got something like the Rack, which has to deal with having a billion printings, most of them very ugly. But maybe like I don't know.
Well,
maybe a time-shifted
there was
Rack.
that $10 Garrick versus Liliana rack. That,
Yeah, it's in the
was
media,
DJ's
the
pick
little-
of the week at one point.
Was my
Was it
breaking
a-
bulk.
was
my
it a
breaking
media
bulk,
promo?
Breaking bulk.
It was I think it was in the duel, or it wasn't. It was in the media promo thing. The thing with the little M for a symbol. The duels of the Planeswalkers. Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
if
that was
you're-
wasn't that the Garrick versus Liliana?
No, because the Garrick versus
that was-
Liliana has a leaf for the set symbol.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was the Duel of the Planeswalkers.
Like the
Yeah,
Xbox something.
the giveaway.
Yeah.
the giveaways at LGS's. So the Rack, if you are a believer in this and want to target it, $4 on the time shifted version.
Well, there you go. You don't want the ugly revised version for sure.
Yeah. So yep, absolutely. All right, you guys want to do pick of the week?
Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week. My card is predicated on the fact that everyone's like, "Ooh, the new Jace. The new Jace." He's called Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, and his static ability is if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. It makes him like, I guess, a harder to remove Lab Maniac, or maybe an easier to remove Lab Maniac. It's hard to tell, right? Because like, you can't kill Lab Maniac by attacking at it, but there's a lot more creature removal. So the jury's out on whether this is better or worse in that situation.
It's certainly harder to cast.
And it has no plus abilities for being a rare planeswalker. Or is that a +1?
It's a +1.
It's hard to tell. Okay, so it's got a +1 and a -8. So the +1 is target player puts the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard, draw a card. And then the -8 is draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So a lot of people are saying, hey, it has 2 you win the game clauses on it, which means it's even easier because either you like would draw a card from another effect with your library empty, or you would draw a card with his -8 ability. So, like, if you have 8 loyalty on him and 7 cards in the library, you just win the game. So, people are looking at the card Thought Lash from Alliances. Now, this is a card that people were trying to donate to people with whatever that goat thing, the red, white, blue goat thing.
What?
What?
Goat Napper?
No, the
Eldritch Moon donate, the color shifted one.
Harmless Offering?
The first Planeswalker, the first EDH deck. What's his name?
Zedru?
Yeah.
Oh,
Zedru.
I understand. Okay.
People were trying to donate this to people with
that's
Zedru.
That's Jeskai colors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this card was like cheap forever, and it kind of like spiked up to $3 in mid 2016 and went right back down. And I think this will I think Thought Lash will end up $5-6 before we're done here. It's a card that says cumulative upkeep, remove the top card of your library from the game. If you do not, remove your library from the game and bury Thought Lash. But you can't just opt not to. I don't think. But you can also remove the top card of your library from the game to prevent a damage to you. So I think you just like drill your whole library out and then win with Jace when you use his alt.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Or you do another way where you like play Brainstorm or something to draw a card and just win the game. So it's dumb. People are saying that this could be a legacy thing. I don't think it's a legacy thing, but I could maybe see this in EDH.
No, legacy, you just play Helm of Obedience and Rest in Peace.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just kill them? Why don't you kill their library? So I think it's a dumb combo, but I also think Thought Lash is just like one of those.
It's reserve list too.
Yeah, is it? It's an uncommon.
Is it? I could have sworn it was reserve list.
No, you're right. It's rare. It's
either way, even if it is,
that's why it already went up. So
if it was not on the reserve list, it would be on the theoretical reserve list, which is like
because it's got cumulative upkeep and all kind of stuff. They're not going to reprint this card,
but it is on the reserve.
It is on the reserve list.
Just verified. Yep.
So it's just one of those cards that like it's never going to go back down because if it gets any hype again. So I think you have like maybe 48 hours to buy Thought Lash, so I hope you got this podcast early.
Yeah, I hope you listen to it early.
I hope you are a patron that goes to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and pays $10 a month, which is $2.50 an episode, and you can have the access to the spreadsheet early. So as soon as we record the podcast, you get notified what our picks of the week were, and you don't get our context, you don't get our explanations for it, but you do get to see those picks 48 hours before everybody else, and I think that's a real big benefit to being a $10 patron. I can't stress that enough. We are a podcast where we actually make people money. I think our Patreon pays for itself, so use it.
Yeah.
Pay off the 100%. Patreon and go buy Thought Lashes while you still can.
All right, I've got one for you guys that I'm interested in your take on, and this is kind of outside my wheelhouse, but I recently discovered the card for my Olaro deck in Commander, and then obviously you've been following it. So Estrid's Invocation, Commander 2018, brand new card, in terms of Commander sets anyways. 3 mana blue card. You can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any enchantment you control, except it gains, at the beginning of your upkeep, you can turn it into a different enchantment. You exile it and then bring it back. And right now the card is at $5. The card had bottomed out. You know, it was printed, 6 months ago. It bottomed out at about 350 about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And since then, it's been climbing up. And the market price has been rising to meet the average price. And we usually know that that's a good sign of things to come. So this strikes me as one of those cards that, comes out in a commander set and is sort of a reasonable-ish price for a year. And then people realize, oh, there aren't any more of these, and it's actually really good, and then it spikes. We've seen it with dozens of commander cards over the last several years, right? And I think Estrogen Vacation is one of those that at some point it's just going to spike and be $10, but before then you're going to climb from 5 to 6 or 7 or 8.
Yep.
All right, DJ, what do you got?
Yeah, so my pick of the week is also actually based on War of the Spark, just because there are so many Planeswalkers and there's so much going on. I think you have to get on this before the pre-release, and then you'll make a lot of money at the pre-release. So Chessex Manufacturing is an American company that manufactures and sells dice, primarily for the role-playing and collectible card game market. So what you do is you buy a bunch of dice, like a few pallets worth, and then you just truck them over to your LGS right before the pre-release.
What are you, Ryan Bouchard? What the hell kind of pick of the week is
man?
that? Get
Come
out of here.
on.
Get out of here.
Jeez, I wanted to let you finish, man, to see where it was going to go, and it just never got there. You never got there, man.
It's Containment Priest. My pick's Containment
Priest. My pick of the week is every card in War of the Spark.
Do you have anything else, DJ?
No, it's my real pick of the week is actually Containment Priest, because I think this is another card that could very easily slot into Modern Horizons to solve some of the very fast linear aggression strategies that are popular right now. I don't know if Wizards predicted this sort of rise.
It's already way tanked on the basis of its reprinting recently.
Right, and if it's put in a legal format where you suddenly get to beat a bunch of Bridge from Belows and Arclight Phoenixes with it, then
there you go.
Then the card becomes very good, right? I understand it would be following a reprint that it already got in UMA, which is why the card is so low. But if this card is put into Modern, I think it could fix a lot of the problems that exist in that format right now, where everybody's just trying to put a billion power into play on turn 2 and just get there. So I don't think Containment Priest is a horrible pickup. I mean, they're only $4 right now. I think it's something that you could easily just put your $16, $15 away, just like a Splinter Twin set kind of, just as a fail-safe. Just in case this card is put into Modern Horizons, it will inevitably spike like Baleful Strix did, like some other cards that are jumping in anticipation of being printed in this format. But Containment Priest would obviously be at rare, and it is just a solid card that I think could do fine in Modern, and it's $4.
Absolutely, there you go. All right, so before we get out of here this week, I sent you guys a picture. I need you to take a time out, check the group chat. I sent you the first page of the manifesto.
Oh, there's more to this? I noticed the word Pleiadian in
Jason,
the Pleiadian Aldone Apocalypse.
Jason, I'm not joking. I'm not going to count, but there are a minimum of 20 pages here.
Oh man, he uses the word Pleiadian a lot.
Are those? Is that the World Trade Center at the bottom left?
That's from Job 3831. I guess he's just.
Yeah, DJ, it is. As a matter of fact, in fact, it says USAF beautiful robot psyop, something into love,
and then it shows the plane flying into the Twin Towers.
Man, I don't want to see your gross leg in this picture.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Wait! In the back. Oh no, that's a picture of Hitler.
Was Hitler the Pleiadian? Was he the one loosing the rings?
Even looking at this, I sent you guys a picture because I didn't want to be the only one who had seen
star
this.
system of 1,000 years of Dark Ages.
He's showing the Pleiades constellation, showing the orbital placement of the Seven Sisters and their relationship to the photon belt. This guy knows a lot of science words for a complete lunatic.
Well, most of the lunatics are not always unintelligent, right? They're usually just mentally ill.
Can't he just kill people like a normal, extremely intelligent, mentally ill person? Does he have to send weird shit to people? Can't he just cut up girls? Why does he have to do this? This is worse somehow.
Just put your energy towards something productive, like being the next Dexter or whatever.
Yeah, why can't serial killers hunt people that get away with stuff, man? Can't you just hide in the Lincoln bedroom with a syringe full of knockout juice?
And saw them? Is that the idea?
Whatever you gotta do, man. I don't care how he disposes.
This is the plot of the movie. No, this is the plot of the movie Saw.
Oh, it's what? What?
Stick. Yeah, that's what they do. And they go into people's like houses or whatever, and then they show up in a mask, and then they knock them out.
That's not Saw. That's every Saw sequel. But Saw was actually a good movie.
I meant Saw the series, not
the
Saw the
Sawquels. They're called.
Yeah.
If they're not called Sawquels, they should be.
I've never heard them called that, but now I will call them that. I've seen all of the sequels. I think we've talked about this before. I've seen every Saw movie.
Why?
Because I cared about the story. I wanted to see how the story
ended.
Saw
2 with Donnie Wahlberg, and that was enough.
Well, the beauty of it is that... Well, I'm trying... No, Saw 2 is... I don't remember if it's Saw 2 and Saw 3 that happen concurrently. I think it is. So if you've seen Saw 2 but haven't seen Saw 3, you just have half the story.
Oh, no, I only have half the story. You mean you didn't see Final Destination 6? It picked up where Final Destination 4 left off. Who gives a shit,
Hey, at least
man?
the Final Destination movies are fun.
Are they?
Yeah, dude.
Are they?
They put a lot of... Well, look, if you look at it this way,
Saw
right?
2 was cool. Like, Saw 1, it was like, oh, here's a weird psychological thriller in a small
Saw
room that
2
was
is
made for a
obviously very
$12,000 budget. And then Saw 2's like, what if I threw somebody in a pit of AIDS needles?
Yeah, Saw 2 was pretty bad. They actually got better, like, after Saw 3. Saw 4 and on were better.
Oh, stop it. Stop.
No, what were you talking about before
That's the same way you talk about Taylor Swift albums.
No,
After the
listen,
fourth
what movie
one,
were
they
you
get
talking
pretty
about?
good. And, like, I'm not going to give her 4 albums.
Corbin, that's called
What
Stockholm
movie-
Syndrome.
What movie were you talking about just a minute ago, Jason? It sprung my memory and I forgot.
What?
You brought up a movie a minute ago.
Final Destination?
Yeah. So, Final Destination, man. The opening scene on all those movies where it's always the big crash in which everyone dies and then the main character sees it and then they prevent it and now death chases them, right? That's the plot to every movie.
Wait, they did that 5 times?
I don't know how many of them they made because
I thought
eventually
they
they started calling it
Okay.
like the Final Destination or something. But the point is they have a lot of work from a production standpoint goes into those scenes. So even if you throw out the entire movie, I think actually like the job that the professionals creating and designing those scenes do is like very good, like very clever and very smart, and it's good work. So like even if you like, obviously Final Destination movies you watch them to see how the effects team and the writers or whatever
I don't think
have
that's their
devised
target
ridiculous
audience.
ways for people to die. Yeah, of course it is, dude.
I think their audience is just people who want to see people die.
Yes, in funny
Yeah, but you
weird
want to
ways.
see the MTV generation die. Like, that's why you watch it. Is like you want to see Devin Sawa get Sawa.
Sean William Scott getting head cut off by a train.
Yeah, man.
That's Final Destination 1 there.
And I would like to see like the current MTV generation too. Like Taylor Swift swiftly decapitated.
Hey, come on, man. That's not
I want
cool.
to see Cardi B get drugged for once.
Yeah, I recently found out on the Facebooks that Cardi B is apparently used to like rob people and drug them.
What? I mean, I don't care. I'm not like a fan of
I don't even know what a Cardi B is exactly, but
I think if you woke up like and Cardi B had drugged you and taken your wallet, you're like, thank God she didn't sing.
I mean, I have no
This
idea.
is so much better
I
than
literally
listening
can
to her
speak
music.
to nothing about this person. I don't know anything about this.
She's a rapper, Corbin.
Well, yes, that part I was aware of, but I don't know. I've never heard any of the music that I know of. Like, I don't follow news about this person. My extent is I saw somebody share a meme that she had like used to drug people and rob them.
She Cosby'd people.
She used to be a criminal, and now she's a rapper. So good for her. All right,
That's street cred. I mean, you gotta be a criminal if you want to be a rapper.
Well, that was
Otherwise,
sort of-
everyone would be a rapper. It's how hard is it to rhyme?
Well, that was the point of the whole thing, right? Is that if a male had like all kinds of male rappers used to be criminals and people celebrated, and now they're criticizing Cardi B for the same thing, essentially, whatever, right? It's just some sort of drama that isn't in a sphere that I follow. Anyway,
Well, it's good
JJ,
that
you should just cut out that part.
You're kind of.
All right, guys, that's all that we had on deck for this week. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we get out of here? That sounds like a big no. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. I hope you enjoyed the War of the Spark stuff and this really weird manifesto that we shared today.
They didn't.
I didn't know what I was getting into when I opened that package. I'll say that. I thought it was going to be more fun than just weird. Q, you warned me. I didn't listen. Everybody, thanks for listening. Next week,
somebody named Q sent it to you, so that should be a little indicator of.
Did he send it to you anonymously? Dun dun dun.
Actually, it's funny. The letter he sent me with it says "Love Q, comma I mean anonymous." And the envelope he sent me, the return address was not humongous.
Oh, well, that's not Q-spicuous.
Yeah, there you go. All right, everybody. Next week, no weird manifestos, I promise, but more brainstorm.
Send Corbin some severed doll heads instead.